Good morning, everyone. Hey, Cisco Aloha. How are you? What's up, brother? Hey, Moran, trade maker. Good morning. Oh, welcome to the trading syndicate for the 19th? Is it the 19th? Holy cow. Man, I blinked and we're just sailing through August. It's unbelievable. Hey, Jirash, how are you? Good morning. Hey, MXM. Buenas noches. Jorge, todo tranquilo. You're all good? Good, good, good. Well, here we are, looking to see what this market's going to do. We finally, man, this thing is liquidating so slowly. Jorge, I my Spanish is very little, poquito español. I have to learn how to speak Spanish though because I think I want to retire there. I think everybody wants to retire in Spain. Hey, Lonigan, what's going on? All right, so the liquidation in this market is taking forever, and it's all because of this day right here, right? This day is the day that created the bad structure that threw us up over 64.51, which was that prior sort of high. And oh man, we have been fading lower, but we just keep bidding and then moving back up. So let's see what happens today. We came right into that second set of single prints right here at 64.54, and I'll show you to the tick. Back inside yesterday's range. So we did a look below and fail, right? So we did a look below and fail of the previous day's range. Our inventory is at least 70% short. That's why we're getting corrective move up. Okay. Hey, doctor, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. So there's a sort of a more detailed look. There's the previous day's low. There's that level that we were watching. It finally broke, and we spent time underneath it. And look where we went. We went right to where those single prints are, to the tick, right? So in a slow liquidation, the market will come to a level that you're expecting, stop, and then reverse, right? Now that tells you that the nature of this liquidation down was just a small inventory correction. Hey Raj, what's up, brother? Right. So let's see how this market now reacts when we get to 64.60. Because 64.60 half was support. Thinking it's going to be resistance tonight. What is the business reason to stop at single prints? Great question. It's exactly where the buy orders are from people who are caught short. You nailed it, VS Squad. So anybody who was short from here would have bids. We came down, and the market saw that there were all these buy orders, went, turned and went, let's get them to pay more. And indeed, they followed the market up. A nice trade that you can take if you have market profile is to buy, say, 64.55, put your stop underneath that overnight low, and then your target will be the previous day low. And if you get into the previous day low like we did, then you can, squeeze out a few more, you know, Krugerrands up here, right? So say you're buying 55, 55 half, you're out at 58 half. That's a nice 3 points. I'm a big fan of the 3 point trade because 3 points on three contracts is $450, right? That's not bad, right? 3 points, three contracts, $450. You do that trade twice a day, and next thing you know, you're making almost 20 grand a month, right? You don't have to wait for 30 points and all these stupid Lamborghini trades that people are touting that they never actually do anyway, right? Be practical, make your money, enjoy your life. That's what our motto is, right? So VWAP, I think, is up here. Yeah, VWAP is 64.64. Now, what I did for my balance zone, when we're in a liquidation or a move up, it's hard to find balance. So what I did was I used that high, that low, that high, and it seems to be working. I haven't taken a trade yet this morning. What I'd like to see is that point of control, which is around 900 contracts. I'd like to see that move down. We get good absorption, and then we go back up to sell that product, right? So let's watch and see if we get that. Just kind of relaxing, chilling out. Take trades that only make sense. Yeah, so the business reason for the price to stop at any level, VS Squad, is unfilled buy orders, right? So you guys talk about support, resistance, right? How old am I? I'm 57. So what I did with market making was I was a client of market makers. So what I was I was a liquidating trader for company insiders, financiers, small hedge funds, stock promoters. So I was the one who's selling when you guys are buying. I would have a network of market makers, right? That when they would get buy orders from retail brokerage firms would call me and say, "Hey JJ, I've got a buyer for 100,000 shares of this stock that you have an interest in, and they're willing to pay $1 for the stock for 100,000 shares." So I would sell them 100,000 shares at 97 cents. The market maker would keep 3 cents and make 3 grand for calling me. So every time the market maker picked up the phone and called me for a 10-second phone call, they would make $3,000. That is called the call. So I was what they call the call. You guys never heard of that. Market makers, when they have the call, that's a license for them to print money. Right? My client pays 0.001 cent for those shares. He sells them at a 97 cents, 96 cents. He doesn't care. Right? We pay the market maker 3 grand to call us on every 100,000 share lot. Right? So the market makers make money from what we call the backfill. They show me a price, I sell it to them at a discount. They keep the difference. This is how business is conducted when you sell stock from offshore accounts. And I was Mr. Offshore. So I was Larry the Liquidator. And I'd work on deals for as long as those deals lasted. So some deals I worked on for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Some deals I worked on for 3 weeks, depending on how intelligent the client was. Some really intelligent clients will work a deal for 3 to 5 years. They'll make $600-700 million over those 3 to 5 years. And I am what they call an executing trader. And I've been doing that since 1993. Yeah. So yeah, I ran deals. I ran the stocks. I ran the deals. Brought in liquidity. Any thoughts on Japan? None at all, my friend. Carry trade issues? I have no idea. So when you work at a brokerage firm, you charge commission. That's how I started out. My clients would open brokerage accounts. I would charge them 3.5 to 5% on the trade. So on a $100,000 trade, I'd charge them 3.5 grand. So even though the client on a $100,000 trade would lose $6,000 in fees, they were still making $90,000 plus on a $100,000 trade. And considering they got the stock for free, 90 grand is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I don't know anything about the carry trade, my friend. Those things are beyond my scope and way above my pay grade. Hey Monica, welcome. Hey John, how you doing? Good evening. Smart clients know how to run a deal for a long time. See, when you have a public company, it's like an automated teller. It's like an ATM machine. If you're smart about it, that public company can be used over and over and over. So if Bitcoin's the hot thing, you do a Bitcoin deal. Then, you know, longevity deals will be the hot thing. Then oil and gas could be the hot thing. Then energy could be the hot thing. And you just keep rotating deals through your public company. Change of direction. Find a whole group of new people to buy. Right? You never run out of stock because you just issue yourself more stock. Yeah? Paper's 10 cents a pound. Right? So smart clients will have 5 or 6 companies. They'll run multiple deals over decades and make billions of dollars, right? It's all about distribution. Let's see if we hold the previous day low, right? See, all you guys think that fund managers make their money from trading. They don't. Fund managers make their money from buying stock at discount. They finance companies, so if a company needs 20 or 30 million dollars, the fund manager will give them 20 or 30 million dollars. But first they'll short the stock and then they'll get a 30% discount to VWAP. We're just kind of balancing around, trade maker. We're trying to find, like, we found bids down in those single prints. We're just waiting for that point of control to move down so we can vacuum up all the overhead contracts from above, then go sell them back higher, right? Yeah, so the goal in finance, why you guys come into the market, is that we want to sell you something. We don't care what it is we sell you. We'll sell you whatever you want to buy. So if the media and things are like, okay, you should buy real estate, then we'll do a real estate deal. If everything hot is Bitcoin, then we'll do a Bitcoin deal. You know, if everything is weed stocks, we'll do a weed deal. Whatever you want to buy, we'll sell to you, right? That's the big thing. Just distribution, distribution. Markets are created and made. Why do you think all you guys want to buy new countertops and redo your houses? Because you've been programmed by marketing to do so, right? That's why people keep redesigning their homes. Parkerville Gold Mine? Why do I know that name? Oh, which deal was that one? I don't remember that one. But there've been a lot of gold mines. I've done gold deals, diamond deals, oil and gas. Um, is that a Vancouver deal? Barkerville? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Gosh, that's really familiar. Wells, BC. I probably know these people. uh, BGM. Oh man, we were just waiting for this. This is not tradable, eh, folks? That's why I'm trying to distract you by talking about penny stocks. Don't buy penny stocks. You sell penny stock, okay? You get it for free and you sell it. You don't buy penny stocks. First rule about penny stocks. Yeah, I don't use the DOM because it's a waste of time. No large trader is ever going to show their hand on the DOM. If you can watch the bid ask on the DOM move, you can do that, right? But most people can't concentrate, and they'll look at the wrong thing. I'm Doctor, I'm into the really simple way of trading, right? All you got to do is watch that red line. If it's going up, don't short the market. If it's going down, don't buy it, right? Very simple, right? This is a simple business. It's not an easy business, but it's a simple business. And everybody loves to overcomplicate it and make it more difficult so they sound intelligent. I don't care to sound intelligent. I just want my friends to make money, right? And really 99 to 98% of retail traders just talk and talk and talk, but none of them actually are profitable. Point of control move down. Check it out. There we go. Now we got some absorption, right? And they always have these fancy sayings and stuff like that, but they don't actually make money, right? I want people to actually make money for the time they spend doing this, right? So all this stuff, DOMs and footprint charts and all this stuff they talk about, it's all BS. There's not very many profitable traders out there. The best way for someone who's never worked in the industry and doesn't understand how it works is to spend a little time learning how inventory moves when order flow comes in. Order flow is just a fancy way of saying customers, right? If they said customers, nobody would buy order flow software, right? Like if I said, oh, it's just customers coming in to a market, well, then they'd go, well, why do I need special software to see that? Can't you see that off a candle chart? Yeah, you sure as heck can, right? But you can't sell people things they don't need if you make it too simple. Yeah, let's see what happens, trade maker. It's a slow drift lower. Every day we kind of keep creeping and putting in a lower low, but then we close up. So we're right in the middle of this balance zone. This is a no trade for me. Can you explain how you knew the puck moved down and what causes a puck to move? Great. Nate, the point of control, that little purple line, right, where it says overnight puck, ON puck, that is where the majority of the inventory is priced. So it was priced higher, now it's priced lower, right? So I want to see when inventory is accumulated and I want to see when it's distributed, right? Because that's how you make money, right? So Nate, if you were selling apples, you'd buy your apples for a nickel a piece and then go to the market and try and sell them for a dollar, right? And then when you put them on sale, you have to put them on sale 90 cents, 80 cents. If another Apple guy comes in and then Trademaker and John and Cisco and Raj come in and they're selling apples, what are you going to have to do to get rid of your apples? You have to price compete. That's what happened earlier in the night. There was price competition and we moved price down. Now let's see if we accumulate those apples over 64.57. The DOM moving underneath means that now we are having good absorption. Hey Jerry, how you doing? So now that the point of control is moved lower, the inventory has shifted to lower price, right? No, they're the same people. The people who are buying and selling are the same people. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. That's why balance works because those people they're selling they initiate the selling here and they stop selling here. That's why you get this back and forth. It's called being both sides. It's a wholesale business. So right now it's really slow and we still have some selling from above and it's kind of dripping down, right? It's dripping lower and we're waiting to see what happens when London opens. Yeah, folks, we are just there's nothing really new happening in a futures market. Futures markets react to news, economic news, and data, and they're a way for people to speculate, right? It's a great way for people to speculate. But people don't buy a futures product and hold it for 30 years, like buying 1,000 shares of Microsoft and holding it for 30 or 40 years. Choppy yesterday? Yeah. Just scroll back, John. I always post it. If you scroll back in the room, I know you're not. I'll scroll back and do the balance zone. It's basically from here. It's just boom, boom. It's a little off on the top, but I was close enough. Whoa, what the hell happened there? Okay, what the hell happened to my chart? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, why is that doing that? I'll have to fix this. Sometimes Sierra chart does a little weird stuff here. There we go. Two minutes until the London Open. Yep. Let's see if anything happens. Sometimes it's really slow and there's really nothing to do during Globex. It's a great time to actually sit and watch if you're learning how to trade. Um, you can really get a feel for watching the offer. That's what I would do if I were you. If you're a new trader, right? There's always something to learn. Draw a line, watch how the market responds, you know? From the 14th. Okay, trade maker. Yeah. So London's going to open now. Let's see. And now I'm watching to see, John, whether that 64.60 and three quarters actually was responsive. It was. So, like you said, where'd you get your levels from? I'm looking to see if it's responsive. And do we have enough of the inventory to go sell it above 60? Right? Can we get above 60 and three quarters and go tickle VWAP? Right? Or is it still, do we still need to absorb this inventory? Right? It's not ready just yet, right? So we know that there's now a seller here, right, John? We know there's a seller here, well, because we should have had that marked, right? So I'm a little, see, I should have had that level marked because there was a seller here, right? We stopped to the tick. right? So I'm curious to see kind of this level here. Do we hold that level? Because I'm thinking that the inventory is here, right? So if we can take this inventory and go sell it, take this and go sell it here, right? And get rid of it in this area here. Let's see. There's that area where the sellers are again, right? They're right here, right? Purple means the value area. That's where 70% of the cost basis is priced. Green is outside of the value area. So all this TPO chart does is it helps you track inventory and structure. It's not quite ready yet. See how there's a constant seller at 61 and 3/4. You can see them. They're right there. They were there before. They're going to be there again. Why are they there again? Because they have size, and also they picked up some size down here under 56 and under 58. Once you understand that these people are going to be selling constantly and buying constantly, all of this somebody has to win for somebody to lose and all that nonsense, you don't have to fill your head with all that nonsense, right? Just worry about your trade setup. So if you're buying this as a breakout, right, there's going to be some sellers in that 62 because when we came down from 66 down to where we are now at 61, there's going to be some inventory in the shelves. So just be aware of that and make sure that if you are long that you sell into strength. Okay? Always sell into strength, folks. When you're learning how to trade, $300 here, $500 there, $400 here, it adds up. Beats the hell out of blowing up accounts, wouldn't you agree? I mean, I'd rather make $200 on a trade than blow up my account. Yeah. Take the money when it's offered. Be long-term greedy, okay? It's not ready yet. Still have more contracts to clean up underneath 60. So if you were doing a look below and fail, so if you were shorting, right? Say you shorted 60 and a half against that 71 seller. It's kind of choppy. So what can you expect if you're short? Maybe to take out 58, 59. It's not the greatest. Once again, choppier markets where the markets are going back and forth over a level, it is better to let the large traders work that level out and then transact. The choppier the market, the smaller the candles are, the lack of follow through, right? When markets don't have follow through, it's better to keep your money in your pocket instead of just chasing the up and down movements. And if you don't believe me, take a trade, get stopped out, then wait for the next trade to see if, then if you get stopped out on the second trade, then you should start getting clued into the fact that maybe it's not the best business conditions. Exactly, trade maker. Exactly. The hardest thing for people to realize is, okay, I'm ready to trade. I'm ready to make money. Well, the market really doesn't care, right? They're doing their business. It might be wholesale business, so you might have to just to wait. That's very hard for people to do. That's why people lose money because 100% of retail traders trade at the wrong time because they don't understand the business. At the tradingsyndicate.org, that's what I try and teach is how to understand the business so you're not trading and just throwing darts at a board, right? And you're not over trading, you're not getting frustrated. Because what happens is you don't understand the business, you don't understand when to do business, you don't understand how to do business, and you jump in there and you make really bad business decisions, bad risk decisions, and then what happens? Then everybody starts talking about trading psychology. There is no amount of trading psychology that is going to make up for lack of skill, right? There's no amount. You can sit on Dr. Phil's couch for 300 years, but there's no amount of trading psychology is going to make up for lack of skill. Okay? See you, trade maker. Oh, not trade maker. I mean, doctor, have a good night. And that's what we try and teach you skill. Oh, it is a slow, slow morning. Boy, oh boy. Anyone have any questions? Let's see if we can find some bids down here at 58. So when it's like this, folks, you are better off going and doing something like going to the gym and something like that, or just watching. Don't try and trade these back and forths when it's this choppy. You see how it almost looks like a barcode. Not the best conditions. Makes sense, John. Have a good night. And also remember, we're right in the middle of summer. Do I use Delta? The airlines? No. No, I don't use Delta. It's completely unnecessary. It's cute, but it's completely unnecessary for trading. You don't need it, right? I only use what I need, AO, right? All that stuff, like Delta, all it tells you is if they're taking the offer aggressively or if the market's trading on the bid. Most people don't even know what that means, right? So sometimes Delta be going down and prices going up because product's being absorbed on the bid. If I bid up a stock, your Delta is going to go down because it's going to transact on the bid, right? Of course you were trained using Delta charts in the DOM. It's popular, right? Yeah. That's a lot of stuff to look at, man. Wouldn't you rather simplify your life? I don't know. Some people like being busy, right? I'm looking at Delta and Schmelta and profile and this and all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I've been in the business 33 years, so maybe I don't have an enthusiasm to like try and be busy, right? I just want to make some money and teach people how to make money so they can enjoy their life, right? So if you worked for a prop firm, I mean, were you trading like huge size, right? There you go, right? I don't know. I was trained differently. I've been an executing trader all my life. I've taken 200 companies public and I've traded billions of dollars in order flow, and I don't use any of that stuff, right? But hey, whatever floats your boat, right? So if you worked at a prop firm, obviously they had some education on how to use all that stuff. Most of the people I'm talking to, AO, are retail people. They're sitting in their house, right? They're having a coffee, they're in their bathrobe. They just want to make a living, you know what I mean? They're not trading 50 to 100 a clip. They're not working at a prop firm, right? They don't have time for somebody to. That's your job, right? Most of these people have their own job, they have lives, so they just want to make some money, pay their bills. You know what I mean? So what I do is I try and teach people how to make money without overcomplicating their lives and how to manage their risk, right? So I don't go into unnecessarily complicated stuff because that might make me sound smart, but it's really not helping anybody. Like if I sound smart, it's not helping the person who's trying to make $300 tonight. You know what I mean? If I try and sound smart, it doesn't help the person who's trying not to blow up their account because they don't understand when to trade and when not to trade, right? I like simplicity. And I'm sure, aren't you guys tired of hearing all this, excuse my language, bullshit and not making any money, right? Like most of the people who come to me, they're frustrated. They've lost money. They've been told to look at Delta. Told to look at this. They've been told to look at that, right? The Hound of Hounslow? No, that sounds like a episode of a Sherlock Holmes book. So like right now, there's nothing to do. No, I don't. I don't know. No, I've never heard of the Hound of Hounslow. Is that kid that was trading in his parents' basement that they blamed for the flash crash? No, I don't know. I don't know him at all. No, no. I dealt with I dealt with you know places like Knight Securities, Citadel, Bank of America, those kinds of places. I traded for Swiss banks and stuff like that. So I was the guy that nobody really talked about. Nobody know even knew I existed. Right. So I was not a prop trader. I wasn't a prop trader at all. Right. I was an executing liquidating trader for insiders. Right. So I don't look at markets the same way. I go, oh, okay, traded $300 million worth of stock. We need to be at least 30% of that, 40%, So how do we pull, if it traded $300 million worth of stock, how do we pull 80, 90, $100 million out of that day's trading, right? We're liquidating, right? Yeah, we're the insiders. We're selling when you guys are trying to figure out the chart patterns. We are creating the chart. It's a completely different story. We create the order flow that you guys surf, right? I control the supply. Yeah, there's really nothing going on here. Anybody have any questions? It's a slow morning. I think inventory will correct higher, and I'll be looking for a move up to VWAP. See you, Alex. Have a good one. I'll wrap it up a little early tonight. Give it a couple of more minutes. Yeah, so like I said, if you're interested in learning how to trade without all the mumbo jumbo, without looking at 20 or 30 different things, if you want to learn how to trade using a 1 minute candle chart to actually be profitable, to make money, pay your bills, right? Come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org. We have a good community of traders. I'm also starting a new mentoring class in September. Anybody who's interested, reach out. And we'd love to have you with us. We'll also help you pass those evaluations for those funded trader accounts. Well, right now, we're just collecting inventory under 60, and we're going to go try and sell it above 60, right? That's all that's going on, really. Right? So there were sellers at 61 and a half. Now they've moved down to 60 and three quarter, right? And we're just collecting contracts here. Think of a big vacuum cleaner, right? Try and go and take it and sell it between 62 and 63. See ya, Jerry. Yeah, reach out when we're supposed to talk today, right? Yeah. Have a good one. Let's see how far up inventory corrects when it does. It's pretty slow. What's the contract value? Let's see. Yeah, 40,000 contracts. It's pretty light. Pretty light. Yeah. It's a slow morning in Walmart. Yes, there are 3 days of supply above us. Well said, Mohammed. Okay, folks, I'm going to let you go a little bit early. Have a wonderful morning. Trade smart out there. Come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org. And remember, do not take candy from strange market makers. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at 9 o'clock for the next session. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.